Hello, it's Frank Deardorff, that one web guy, and I'm back with another video. In this video, we're going to talk about screen capture. I'm going to talk to you about the built-in screen capture software in both Windows and Mac, and I'm going to talk to you about another software that you might like even better. But I'm going to show you the built-in one, and maybe that will work just for what you need as well. So what I'm going to do is, in Windows here, if you scroll down to the bottom here, you see this notifications area. It says no new notifications, but if I click on that, it has a control panel here that we can turn different things on. And built in right here is Screen Snip, and that's what Windows version is. So you can either click that right there, or you can, of course, if you don't have that panel there, you can go in and go into your control panel and find it that way. You can also hit the Windows Shift S key and bring it up that way as well. And as soon as you do that, it will pop up and ask you what part of the screen you want to select. So I'm going to click the screen snip, and you'll notice here that it grays out the whole window. And I have some options up here at the top that I can do a rectangular snip. I can do a freeform snip where I can actually drag a line around a certain area. I can window snip, which is going to snip the whole screen. And then I can do a window snip, as I can select a certain window for it to select. Or I can do what's called a full screen snip, which will allow me to do just what it sees here on the screen. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to select a portion so you can see what I'm doing. Now if I wanted to, maybe I'm doing an email about showing them some of the videos that I've recently recorded, I can highlight and select this, and it's actually doing it'll pop this up and says it's saved as the clipboard. So I can actually just use that somewhere else. Or I can click on the image and it's going to bring up an image editor. So I can see this, I have where this goes all the way to the gray area and I have white space here. Maybe I want to crop that just a little bit. And maybe I want to bring that into the same spot over there and modify it that way. Maybe I want to modify it here at the top as well. But there's other things that we can do. Once I have it in place, I can do that. I can add some markup. Maybe I want to talk about a particular video. Maybe I'm sharing with a colleague and I want to say, what do you think about what this title of this is? Maybe I want to change that differently. So we can do different things with that. Once we have how we like, we can either save, we can copy. So if you're using like Microsoft Outlook or other services, you can copy and paste right into that document, maybe into a Word document or whatever. You can save it and use it however you want. Or you can use the share option. And when you pop that up, it'll ask you how you want to share it. Through your contacts, maybe through one of the services that you have set up in Windows. So you can do it that way as well. So that's pretty much the basics of being able to use the snip and sketch, as they call it, with Microsoft Windows. And as for the Mac, to record a screenshot or just a portion of the screen or whatever, it's pretty simple. You have to go to, you don't have to, you use the keystrokes Command Shift and 3, Command Shift 3, and you'll get a screenshot. You see down here in the bottom hand corner, it pops up real quick. You can then edit that if you want to crop it or anything like that, or mark it up. You can do some of those tools from this screen up here. So you can see that we have text tools and things like that. So you can do that right inside this portion. Once you're done, you can just close it and it saves it to the desktop. Then if you want to do just a portion of the screen, maybe I'm wanting to show somebody a portion of my YouTube screen here for different reasons, I would select Command Shift and 4 on my keyboard, and you can see that it pops up a cursor with the actual markers. You can see the numbers shift with the XY coordinates, and I can then highlight and select just the options or selection that I want. Get about that there, let go, and again it pops up on the lower right hand screen. If I do nothing, it just saves it as is, and it'll go away in just a moment. Now the last option that I wanted to show you is, and I'm not really sure, okay, this has two features. One is if you do this, you can select and record a menu, or you can select and record a screen. Now you notice I have my Windows portioned where, or set up where I have different windows kind of hidden back and forth. And so what I want to do here is first I'm going to do Shift, Command, 4 and spacebar, and you see it looks different. I have this little camera icon, and as I hover over the different windows, you can see as I hover over it, they turn gray. So that's actually what the screenshot would be. or I can come up here and it'll do a screenshot of the menu. For some reason or other, you may want to send a screenshot of a menu for tech support or a different reason, but you can see that it highlights the one that it's going to be taking a screenshot of, and it's only going to screenshot that window. So if I click on the one here, it says art, it pops it up, and you can see that I have my art folder popped up, and it only did that window. And then I can close that. And then of course when I'm ready to, I can just go to my desktop and go to Finder in my desktop. Now I have my desktop hidden, so if I actually closed all these down, you would see nothing currently other than my wallpaper here. So I just like to do that. I usually don't close my windows to go to click something or anything like that. If I want to go to my desktop, I just go to Finder and I click on desktop and access it that way. There it is. And it has the folders there. Of course, when I do show them, then they're nested. It doesn't show a big pile of them. And occasionally I just come in here and clean this up. It's just kind of a temporary spot for me than anything else. So that's how you do that on a Mac. Another application that I want to tell you about is one that I generally have on. It's called Snagit. So I'm going to click down here and I am going to go to TechSmith Snagit. And I generally have this set up to start when Windows starts. So I am going to scroll down to TechSmith. And you can see right here. And I'm going to click on Snagit 2019. And it does a lot of the same features, but it has a lot more advanced options to it. Now this software will work both on Windows and on Mac. So if you're using either, you can use it that way. Now it pops up with this image here. So I can do a region, I can do different effects that'll do borders, watermarking and stuff like that. I can share a file, via different options as well. We can capture in certain ways as well. So we can even capture video, we can capture an image, or we can do all in one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to capture an image, and we can do some things with, we can do a region, select a region, we can do a window, we can do a full screen, we can do a scrolling window. Now that's one of the features that I like to do. Since I'm a web person, I like to, I'm working on a site and I want to send it to somebody, I want to see the whole screen, how it looks. I can mark it up before I send it to them. So I've got the scrolling window set up. I can click capture, and when we do that, you see that it says capture vertical scrolling area. If I click there, it's going to scroll down the video and take a screenshot of that whole page. So that comes in pretty handy. You can see that it captured the whole thing. I can come in here and crop it. See, we have our crop handles. I can take off the side menu because that's irrelevant to what I want to share with my client. And then maybe I even want to use this in an email or whatever, but I can crop it, modify it. We have different stamps. Like if you wanted to place a, something on here, maybe arrows or something like that to grab attention to a certain area. We can do arrows, we can do favorites, we can add text and call outs. So it has a lot of different features that you can use with this. And you can of course resize it, you can scale it, and again you have different share options like you do in the other one. There's a lot you can do with this, but I just wanted to bring your attention to this as a viable option. It's really inexpensive, and it's a great piece of software. So if you like these videos, go ahead and click the like button for this video, click the subscribe, and be sure to share this with your friends. I'll talk with you again soon, and I'll be back with another video then.